Yoey Chicago White Sox versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The Chicago White Sox, 32-65, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, 39-58, will start up the second half of the season on Friday. The White Sox closed out the first half by dropping 3 of 4 against the Guardians, while Pittsburgh dropped 2 of 3 in Minnesota. Chicago will start Jonathan Cannon, 4.44 ERA, while Pittsburgh will go with Bailey Falter, 3.79 ERA. The Chicago White Sox have the worst record in the American League and trail the Athletics by 8.5 games as the team with the next closest record. They dropped 3 of 4 games in their final series of the first half against Cleveland and could potentially be sellers at the deadline as they plan out their future. In their final game against Cleveland, Andrew Benintendi homered in the 6-5 loss. Benintendi is now their clubhouse leader with 11 home runs on the season and also holds a share of the team lead in RBIs with 35. He is a well-traveled 31-year-old outfielder who has played for the Red Sox, Royals, and Yankees before finding his home with Chicago. He batted 5th against the Guardians and took his turn at the DH spot. Miguel Vargas also has 35 RBIs on the season. He can play either corner of the outfield, but has been lining up at first base most recently. Vargas has 10 homers, but is batting just .218 at the plate. Luis Robert Jr. also has 35 RBIs, but his batting average is even lower at .190 with 9 home runs. Jonathan Cannon will make his 14th start of the season as a 24-year-old right-hander. He has a 3-7 record, but the team won in each of his last 3 starts, showing improved consistency. His ERA is 4.44 to go with 61 strikeouts against 29 walks. In his last start, Cannon gave up 2 earned runs over 5 innings in a win over Cleveland, continuing to build momentum. The Pittsburgh Pirates have 2 of the most exciting young players in baseball in pitcher Paul Skeens and outfielder O'Neill Cruz. Despite this, they are last in the NL Central and are 13.5 games out of the final wild-card spot in the National League. The rumors have been swirling about trading some of their big names, but nothing is official yet. Cruz represented the Pirates well in the home run derby. He had some of the longest homers of the night, showcasing his raw power, but ultimately fell in the semifinals to the eventual champ Cal Raleigh. Cruz is their 26-year-old center fielder who just moved to the outfield this season after spending most of his career at shortstop. He is in his 5th season in the majors, spending all 5 years with the Pirates. He leads the team in home runs with 16 and has added 37 RBIs and is imposing at the plate with his 6'7", 240-pound frame. Brian Reynolds is the only other player on the team with double-digit home runs. He has 10 on the year but leads the team with 46 RBIs as their right fielder. Andrew McCutchen is a veteran presence. The 38-year-old typically takes the DH spot, but is still productive at the plate, with 8 home runs and 31 RBIs. Bailey Falter will make his 20th start of the season as a 28-year-old left-hander. He has a 6-4 record, but the team has lost in each of his last 2 starts. His ERA is 3.79 to go with 59 strikeouts against 34 walks. In his last start, Falter gave up 3 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings in a loss to Kansas City. These teams are both sending out reliable pitchers who are well-rested and should go deep into this matchup. Both Cannon and Falter were part of the opening day rotations for these teams, and both have an ERA under 4.50 in the first half of the season. Cannon has been the better pitcher as of late. He has not given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his last 3 starts, all wins for Chicago. Falter has the lower ERA and more experience on the mound. His 3.79 ERA will be strong enough to take on this Chicago lineup. The White Sox are 28th in run production, and the Pirates are dead last in the league. In the same category, this will be a low-scoring game. There is great value here in taking the White Sox in their first game back after the All-Star break. It was a long break for the Sox because they did not send many players to Atlanta for the festivities. This does mean that the team will be fresh, and their lineup of Benintendi, Robert, and Vargas are all healthy and will be in the lineup for this one. Falter is on the mound for the Pirates, and the team lost in each of his last 2 starts. Meanwhile, the White Sox won in each of Jonathan Cannon's last 3 starts, a strong stat for a team that is last in the American League. Cannon is an up-and-coming prospect for the Sox, who will pitch well here in an upset win, especially if Chicago's bullpen can hold strong late and provide the rookie with some much-needed support on the road. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Chicago White Sox ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Cincinnati Reds versus New York Mets. The Cincinnati Reds 50-47, 51-46 RL, 39-55-3 OU, and the New York Mets 55-42, 48-49 RL, 383, 43-51-3 OU. Begin a 3-game series on Friday evening. The Reds are going with Nick Lodolo. The Mets will reply with Sean Manaea. The Mets went 4-2 against the Reds last season. Nick Lodolo will get the nod to begin the series on Friday evening. Lodolo was sharp in his recent outing, posting 6 scoreless innings against the Marlins and was credited with the win. The veteran southpaw is having an outstanding season and has conceded 2 or fewer runs in 4 of his past 5 outings. He has delivered a 3.38 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP, accompanied by a 6.6 record in 106.2 innings of work. Lodolo pitched 4.2 scoreless innings in his only career meeting against the Mets. The Cincinnati Reds are within striking distance in the wild card, standing only 2.5 games out. The squad has a solid roster that could be a threat the rest of the season. The Reds won 2 of 4 against the Marlins, followed by a series win against the Rockies before the break. The offense only scored 10 runs against the Rockies and conceded 8 runs. The Reds are 22-25 on the road. Spencer Steer was a threat against the Mets last season, posting 2 homers and 4 RBIs. The 27-year-old first baseman has 39 RBIs and a .713 OPS. Will Benson has 4 RBIs this month. The 27-year-old has managed 26 RBIs and a .703 OPS. Matt McClain is having a disappointing season. The 25-year-old has 32 RBIs and a .634 OPS. Jose Trevino does not play a ton, but has been solid, posting a .759 OPS. Tyler Stevenson has issued 27 RBIs and a .698 OPS. Cincinnati is scoring an average of 4.55 runs per game, ranking them 13th. The pitching is mediocre, posting a 3.91 ERA, placing them 17th. The Mets have Sean Manaea on the mound to begin the series on Friday evening. Manaea has made just 1 start this season due to injury. That start was last weekend. The veteran was solid, conceding just 1 run in 3.1 innings, pitched against the Royals in a game the Mets lost. The southpaw enjoyed an outstanding season in 2024, sporting a 3.47 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP in 181.2 innings of work. Manaea has contained the Reds in his career, yielding a 3.60 ERA and a 2.0 record in 20 career innings. The New York Mets are seeking first place in the division, remaining just 0.5 games behind Philly, whom they play several more times. The Mets dropped a series against the Orioles 2 series ago and rebounded by posting 2 wins in 3 road clashes against the Royals to enter the break, aided by the pitching. They scored 15 runs and conceded 7 runs. The Mets have generated a 33-14 record at home. Jeff McNeil has registered a .736 OPS in July. The 33-year-old second baseman is having a solid year, recording 31 RBIs and an .805 OPS. Juan Soto continues to thrive. amassing 9 RBIs and a .936 OPS this month. The star outfielder has bashed 23 home runs with 56 RBIs and a .905 OPS. Brett Beatty has issued a strong .780 OPS this month. The 25-year-old third baseman has generated 30 RBIs and a .685 OPS. Pete Alonso is raking, clubbing 3 homers with 12 RBIs in July. The star first baseman has 21 bombs with 77 RBIs and a .908 OPS. He recorded a .405 OPS against the Reds last year. Starling Marte is out with an injury. New York is averaging 4.39 runs per game, good for 14th. The pitching is solid, yielding a 3.56 ERA, positioning them 5th. The Cincinnati Reds are not as dangerous on the road. They have dropped 3 consecutive road series and are below 500 on the road. The New York Mets are dominant at home, where they stand 19 games above the .500 mark. Furthermore, Reds pitcher Nick Lodolo is solid, but the Reds are having trouble winning games with him on the mound on the road. They have lost in 4 of Lodolo's past 5 road starts. He isn't getting help on the road from the offense. Cincinnati has scored just 7 runs in those 4 road losses. Mets pitcher Sean Manaea has only made 1 start due to injury, but enjoyed the best season of his career last year. Manaea has generated a solid 3.60 ERA and a 2-0 record in his career against Cincinnati. Also, 4 of the Mets' past 6 home wins have been by 2 or more runs. I expect a barrage of scoring. Cincinnati has scored 23 runs in its past 5 games. While I expect Manaea to contain them, this is only his 2nd outing of the season, and he is not expected to pitch deep into the game. In addition, New York is in a groove at the dish, scoring an average of 5.0 runs in its past 10 games, showing impressive balance from top to bottom. The Reds' pitching has been exposed on the road, surrendering 35 runs in their past 6 road games. The over has been the common trend when the Mets are at home, delivering in 5 of the Mets' past 6 home games. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is New York Mets minus 1.5. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Baltimore Orioles versus Tampa Bay Rays. The 2 AL East teams get set to kick off the second half of the season in a 3-game series in Tampa. The Orioles are in last place in the division, while the Rays are now in 4th place. The pitching matchup in Game 1 will be veteran righty Charlie Morton, 5-7, 5.18, of the Orioles, taking on Rays' righty Taj Bradley, 5-6, 4.60. It has been a long struggle for the Orioles to try and get back in the race this season. The Orioles started the season poorly and have spent the majority of it in last place in the AL East. Recently, the Birds started to turn things around and were riding a 3-game winning streak, heading into the final 2 games before the All-Star break. Unfortunately, their fortunes took a turn for the worse, losing by a combined 17-1 to the Marlins in Baltimore to end the first half. They come into the second half with a record of 43-52, hoping to reset and build momentum in the coming stretch. The Orioles are 11.5 games behind the first-place Toronto Blue Jays heading into Friday night's game. They will turn to right-hander Charlie Morton in the opener. Morton, after a slow start, has pitched much better in the latter stages of the first half. He comes into this game with a record of 5 wins and 7 losses in 20 appearances, including 14 starts. He has 4 quality starts to his credit this season. Morton has an ERA of 5.18 and a WHIP of 1.52. He picked up a win over Tampa Bay on the road earlier this season, allowing just 1 run in 6 innings of work. He has allowed 89 hits in 83.1 innings of work, while walking 38 and striking out 88. In his last start, a 3-1 win over the Mets, Morton allowed 4 hits in 6 innings and gave up just 1 run, continuing his upward trend. The Orioles have won 4 of Morton's last 5 starts. On the road, Morton is 2-4 with a 5.97 ERA in 8 starts. The Tampa Bay Rays are once again defying the odds. making a play for a playoff spot in the American League despite several changes in the offseason as a low-budget team. The Rays' playoff chances took a hit before the first half came to an end. They arrived in Boston in third place, ahead of the Red Sox, but proceeded to get swept by the Bo Sox in a 4-game series. The Rays' offense struggled throughout the series, scoring a total of 8 runs in the 4 losses. They return home now, hoping to get back on track and build momentum. They are now 50-47 overall and looking to stay competitive in the wild card race. The Rays will turn to righty Taj Bradley to kick off the second half against the Orioles. Bradley is 5-6 on the season in 19 games, including 10 quality starts. He has an ERA of 4.60 and a WHIP of 1.27. Bradley has allowed 92 hits in 103.2 innings of work, while striking out 89 and walking 40. He has given up 12 home runs. Bradley has faced the O's twice this season and has been hit hard. He is 0-1 in 2 starts while allowing 14 hits in 6.2 innings of work. He has given up 2 home runs and walked 2 and struck out just 4 in the 2 games. In his last start, a 4-3 loss at Boston, he gave up just 2 hits in 6 innings of work and 1 run. The Rays have lost 3 of Bradley's last 5 starts, highlighting recent struggles in run support and bullpen consistency. Bradley is 3-3 in 9 starts with an ERA of 5.555. The Orioles have gone under the number in 3 of their last 5 games. They have also gone under the number in 4 of Morton's last 5 starts, indicating a consistent trend of low-scoring outings when he's on the mound. The Rays have not fared much better offensively as of late. As mentioned above, they scored just 8 runs in the 4-game series with the Red Sox, further underscoring their recent struggles at the plate. They have gone under the number in 3 of their last 5 games overall and have failed to generate consistent run production. The Rays have also gone under the number in 3 of Bradley's last 5 starts, reflecting their inability to provide strong run support for their pitchers. With both teams dealing with cold bats and solid starting pitching in this matchup, another low-scoring game seems likely. The Orioles' Morton has been hot, winning 4 of his last 5 starts. He is coming off a strong performance against the Mets, allowing 4 hits and a run in 6 innings of work. The Rays have not been as fortunate in Bradley's most recent starts. They have lost 3 of his last 5 starts, including 3 straight. Bradley has also been hit hard by the Orioles this year. He has an ERA of 14.85 in 2 starts against them. In addition, the Orioles are hitting a robust .424 against Bradley, consistently driving the ball to all fields. Look for the Orioles to take Game 1 and make things a bit tighter in the bottom of the American League East Division. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Baltimore Orioles ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Houston Astros versus Seattle Mariners. The Houston Astros, 56-40 first AL West, open a 3-game series in the Pacific Northwest against American League West rival Seattle Mariners, 51-45 second AL West. In the first game for the 2 teams since breaking for the All-Star game, Houston lost to the Texas Rangers 5-1 last Sunday before the break, and the Astros have lost 5 of the last 6, but lead the AL West by 5 games over Seattle. The Mariners defeated the Detroit Tigers 8-4 last Sunday, completing a 3-game sweep of that series, and Seattle has won 6 of the last 9. Houston will play without 9 pitchers as well as too many position players to list here, but includes Brendan Rodgers, Luis Guillorme, Yordan Alvarez, and Jake Myers, amongst others. Seattle will play without 3 pitchers, as well as position players Ryan Bliss and Victor Robles. Houston Astros are first in batting average at .258, 10th in slugging percentage at .411, 11th in on-base percentage at .323, and 15th in runs scored with 418. Isaac Paredes leads Houston with 19 home runs, and Jose Altuve is second with 17. Altuve is leading in RBI with 52, and Paredes is second with 49. The Astros are without slugger Yordan Alvarez, who has not played since May 2nd. Houston has hit 143 doubles, 10 triples, and 110 home runs for 263 extra base hits in 96 games. On the mound, Houston is in the top 5 in 4 pitching categories. Houston is first in WHIP at 1.16, second in batting average allowed at .225, third in quality starts with 45, and fifth in ERA at 3.61. Framber Valdez leads Houston in wins with 10. Hunter Brown leads the Astros in strikeouts with 137 and an ERA for starters at 2.43. Houston has not released the name of a starting pitcher for Friday's opening game of a 3-game set on the road against Seattle. The Seattle Mariners are 7th in both on-base percentage at .326 and slugging percentage at .418. The Mariners are 8th in runs scored with 451 and 13th in batting average at .70 250. Cal Raleigh leads Seattle in baseball in both home runs with 38 and RBI with 82. Randy Arozarena is second in home runs with 17, and Julio Rodriguez is second in RBI with 50. Seattle has 4 players with 44 or more RBI. The Mariners have hit 138 doubles, 5 triples, and 136 home runs for 279 extra base hits in 96 games. On the mound, Seattle is 13th in quality starts with 37, 15th in batting average against at .243, and 16th in both ERA at 385, 3.89, and WHIP at 1.26. Brian Wu leads Seattle in wins with 8, strikeouts with 109, and ERA for starters at 2.75. Seattle has not announced its starting pitcher for Friday's first game of a 3-game series at home against the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros have won 4 of 7 games head-to-head thus far this season versus the Seattle Mariners. The Astros have performed very well on the mound, despite having several pitchers on the injured list off and on throughout the first half of the season. Houston is first in baseball in WHIP, 1.16, second in batting average against .225, third in quality starts, 45, and fifth in ERA, 3.61. In contrast, Seattle is between 13th and 16th in each of the 4 previously mentioned statistical categories. Houston has also produced at the plate with the top batting average in baseball and the 10th best slugging percentage despite playing since May 2nd without Yordan Alvarez. Houston is performing well in the bullpen with a 3.30 ERA, while Seattle has a bullpen ERA of 3.75. Although the total has finished over more often than not of late for both teams, when the two meet on the diamond head-to-head, the total has finished under in 4 of the last 6 games and in 7 of the last 10 games that the Astros have played on the road against the Mariners. Houston has the 5th best ERA in baseball and is first in WHIP. The Houston Astros have won 4 of 7 games head-to-head thus far this season versus the Seattle Mariners. The Astros have performed very well on the mound, despite having several pitchers on the injured list off and on throughout the first half of the season. Houston is first in baseball in WHIP, 1.16, second in batting average against, 0.225, third in quality starts, 45, and fifth in ERA, 3.61, illustrating how effective their rotation has remained despite adversity. In contrast, Seattle is between 13th and 16th in each of the 4 previously mentioned statistical categories. Houston has also produced at the plate with the top batting average in baseball and the 10th best slugging percentage despite playing since May 2nd without Yordan Alvarez, who remains one of the game's most dangerous hitters when healthy. Houston is performing well in the bullpen with a 3.30 ERA, while Seattle has a bullpen ERA of 3.75, showing slight inconsistency when trying to close out tight games in high-leverage situations. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Houston Astros ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.